Okay, today I'm going to talk about expanding and factorizing linear algebraic expressions. So there's some things that I want you to take note of. The first one is a plus b is the same as b plus a. A times b is the same as b times a. Okay. The next one is what we call double negatives. When you multiply or divide two negative numbers, okay, you get a positive number. Okay, so that means we know this with numbers, right? I hope that you know this. If I have minus 5 times minus 3, I get a positive 15 because the negative cancel each other out. When I have two of them, it becomes positive again. So it's the same for algebra, okay? Negative times negative, I get positive, okay? So let's start with the actual topic. What is expanding? Okay, this is a relatively simple algebraic expression, but now I have brackets involved, or parentheses, okay? So what you have to do, how do you expand this? So to expand an expression, it means to express this such that there are no parentheses. So how do we do that? You have to multiply a on the outside to every term that's on the inside, okay? So I have a times x, which is ax, okay, plus a times b, ab, okay? So this is a relatively simple version, okay? I'll show you a few others, 6 to be exact. I'll just show you all the possibilities can come in, okay? So a times x minus b is ax. A times minus b is minus ab. Okay? So I'll just exhaust all possibilities. A times minus x minus ax. Okay? A minus b minus ab. So what if I have the minus in front? I get minus ax minus ab. Okay, so all I'm doing is just I'm doing this method, multiplying in, okay? Now here's the interesting thing. So this is where this property comes into play. I have minus a times minus b. I will get positive ab, okay? So be careful because this is where most students mess up, if they ever mess up in simplifying algebraic expressions. Positive ax, okay? Because they are both negatives, right? Positive ab. Okay, so some interesting things happening here. Can you see that this two, look on the right hand side, okay? The result is the same. This two is the same as well, okay? So why is that so? I'll explain that in a while, okay, after I've talked about factorizing. So to factorize is basically the reverse of expanding, okay? Let me show you. So I'll do some exercises later after I've talked about expanding and factorizing, okay? To factorize, basically, if I give you an expression that looks like this, okay, I want you to express this such that, express it in this form basically, such that I have parentheses or brackets, okay? So some expressions you cannot factorize, like I'll give you an example, 3a plus 5b, let's say. I cannot factorize because they have no common factor, okay? So what do I mean by common factor? Basically, something that you see in common with two terms here. So it is clear that x is present, right? So you factorize x out. You take x out, put it on the left hand side, then you compensate with whatever you did not take out. So here I did not take out 3, so it's 3. I did not take out 5a, so I write 5a. There you go. So this is factorized, okay? If I were to expand this out, you should get the exact same thing. Can you see? It's the same by expanding this out, okay? So factorizing is the reverse process of expanding. Okay, so now, I hope that this is clear. I want to show you some simple examples, okay? So let's go back to expanding. So if I say expand this, 5a times 3x, so it might confuse you a little because there are many things happening here. This is written in a very straightforward manner, whereas, you know, here I have so many things happening, right? I have 5, I have a, I have 3, and I have x. So what you need to know is, you need to remember that you multiply the numbers first. 5 times 3 is 15, right? Then you just write the remaining things. So I've done this, right? 5 times 3, 15. I need to write the others that I did not multiply yet, which is a and x. So see, I'm done with this part. Then the second part, again, always multiply numbers first. 5 times 2 is 10. Then you write a beside it, okay? So this is expanding. So I'll give you another one for factorizing. So if I give you okay, just one more as an example. Again, x is always the obvious one. The next one is 6. 6 is a common factor. They both can be divided by 6, right? 12 you can divide by 6, 6 you can divide by 6. So you must write 6 here. What is missing? A. Now here's the interesting thing. What is missing? It is 2. Okay, so actually what I did here is this 12x, I wrote it like this. 6 times 2 times x. So once I take 6 out, right, and then I take x out, I'm left with 2. So 2 goes here. Okay, so this is some simple expanding and factorizing because they're all linear, so nothing very complicated. But I want to move on to another type of linear algebraic expression that you need to learn, okay? Now, so number 3, we'll go back to expanding, okay? If I have a plus b, c plus x, okay? Oh, this looks complicated, okay? But don't be worried, it's actually not that complicated. So let's look at this first. I will first multiply a with c, then I will multiply b with c. Okay? Then I have to multiply a with x and multiply b with x. Okay? So the answer should have 4 terms. AC is the first one, BC followed by AX plus BX. Okay? Some people will teach you in different order, so it depends on your teacher, okay? Some may teach you like this. To do this first, then to do this, then to do this, then to do this. Okay, so you see, it's a little bit different, but the idea is the same. The idea is to basically multiply all possible combinations, right? I have to do AC, right? Then I do BC. AX, BX. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one you do first, okay? If I can do AX, I can do BC, I can do AC, and then I do BX. Okay? It's the same. So, this is how you expand it, okay? Now, I'll give you one example to practice. Okay, let's do a minus sign for the fun of it. Okay, so first I will do this and this. I get 10a. Then I do this and this, right? I get minus 2ax. So be careful with your sign because I am multiplying with the negative sign. Okay, you must remember this is one whole thing, okay? So now the next one, I'll do this and this, okay? 3 and 5, easy, 15, right? And I'll do 3 and minus x, minus 3x, okay? So check that you have 4 terms, okay? If you have 3, then it's wrong, okay? Now, let's talk about factorizing. So we do the reverse process. So let's look at this. Let's just use something simple, okay, that we have done here. So I have 10a minus 2ax plus 15 minus 3x. Okay, how do I do the reverse process? Okay, how do I factorize it? So look at these two terms. So we usually split them into 2 half, okay? We do this 2 and then we do this 2. Here, can you see that I have some things that are in common within this 2? I have 2a. 2a times 5 is 10a, correct? Minus x. Because minus 2ax is 2a times minus x, right? Then I do the other part, which is I factorize out 3. So again, I get 5 minus x, 15 minus 3x. So always double check, okay? So can you see something very interesting happening here? This and this is the same. So the next step you have to do is to simply add up this one and this one. 2a plus 3, I add them up. Then on the right hand side, I just write 5 minus x. Okay, so as you can see, it's the same, right? I got back what I had in the beginning, okay? So I'll give you another example. 5a minus ay minus 15 plus 3y. So again, we split into 2 parts. This one and this one, okay? So usually, the first half, you have a common factor. If you don't, you might want to rearrange the terms a bit to get one where you have common factors, okay, in the first part and in the second part, of course. So I factorize a out, you get 5 minus y. Here, I factorize out minus 3. So be a bit careful. Minus 3 times 5 is minus 15. So don't put the minus sign here anymore, okay? Minus here is minus y. Because minus 3 times minus y gives you positive 3y. So be careful of the double negatives, okay? So I get a minus 3, 5 minus y, okay? So that's it for the expanding and factorizing. So there are 4 different types here. So expanding, simple ones, expanding simple linear algebraic expressions, factorizing. Expanding with 2 parentheses, okay? Factorizing, okay? Now, I just want to quickly explain this one and this one, okay? What was happening here? So let's look at number 3. A minus x minus b. So what I can do is I can factorize out negative. So if I factorize out the negative, I just put the negative outside, I get x plus b. Correct? Because minus x minus b is minus x plus b. I took out the negative sign, okay? So when I just put an a in front, then it's the same, right? So this is for this one. Now how about the other one? So let's look at this one here. Minus a minus x minus b. So based on this, right, you see, I take out a negative. So I have minus a x plus b. So minus times minus a, double negative, they cancel each other out. I get a x plus b, which is the same as this. Okay, you see? So this is done. So this is the reason why they have the same result. Okay? So that's all that I want to talk about today. Thank you for watching.